You have just entered the world of public access television.
Pretty good.
And now, a show that will one day be good.
Here he is, your host with the most from coast to coast, Steve Katsos. You guys want some candy? The Steve Katsos Show is basically a version of The Tonight Show, but it's nothing like the shows you see in Hollywood and in late night.
This is a show that's done almost like a regular late night TV show. And it's made for that purpose, but it's done all strictly by volunteers. Everybody here is a volunteer, and it's amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, our show is run entirely by volunteers, and we'd like to honor one member every week.
Professionals are volunteering their time and their skill set to a project that they believe in.
And we hope that you guys join us every week as we bring you creative people from New England.
It was probably back in 2006, 2007 when I got the call from Steve here at Arlington Community Television.
Well, when I was a teenager, I had my own show. When I got to college, I continued to do a different show, and it got even more fun. But then after I graduated, I didn't know how I was going to do a program when I had to work for a living and pay bills and things. So many years later, two of my friends were working at a cable station, and I had gone to grad school and written a thesis project up about having late night in New England. My name is Steve Katsos, and this is our late night show from Boston. We're excited because it's our 75th episode. I thought a lot about Boston and how people were leaving here and going to Hollywood and making it big, like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, Dane Cook, Louis C.K. You know, they were all here. So you have these great artists that are here now that are learning their craft and will probably be the top of Hollywood. So I wanted to have a show that would highlight the people while they're here and also the artists that stay here and perform here. And that's what my project was about, and my friends wanted me to continue to make that show after I graduated from school, and so we did. It's time for today's musical guest. Now this is his new CD. It's called Up on Rockfield. Put your hands together for Vance Gilbert.
And I remember sitting outside of a Starbucks, and Steve said, if I do this, I'm going to be all in, and I'm not going to compromise. And it's going to be a great show. I'm going to dedicate my life to it. But I told them as soon as they asked me to come do it, I wasn't going to do it once a month. It had to be every week, which they thought was kind of a hard task to complete because we all had jobs and we all had our personal lives going on. But we found volunteers and people that were interested, and it became a weekly show, and eventually we were able to bicycle it out by sending DVDs out and putting it up in places where people could download it, and next thing you know, it went from one town to many towns to multiple states and to what it is now, which is all over the world.
The Steve Katsos Show, a cable access program from Arlington Community Media, tabbed as Boston's version of The Tonight Show, has announced that it has been picked up by a station in the UK, extending its reach to 13 million homes.
Hi everybody, and welcome to our international late night show from Boston. I'm Steve Katsos, leader of the Greek invasion. So in the US, public access has its rules. And one of the rules around the country is that if you have someone in the city that wants to sponsor a show, they can deliver the show, and that channel can air the program. So I had friends that lived all over the country, and they started bringing my show to their stations. Now, Jeff, I know every week we like to talk about a new city that's airing our program. What do you have for us this week?
I heard Watertown, Massachusetts.
All right, hooray,
Fun
Watertown.
fact, Steve, that it took 75 weeks to get 2 towns away.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. When I first started sending the show out, I'd send out DVDs, and finally I learned how to do uploading to servers for people. And then I got an email from somebody in London, and she said, I have this channel here, and we reach 10 countries, and we want your material submitted for our channel. It's for independent filmmakers. So I said, okay, great. And I sent her a whole bunch of DVDs. I had to reformat them for London, which is the PAL version. And they loved it. And they put the show on. And they ended up airing it 3 times a week. And we were on in prime time in London, hitting 10 countries.
It's come from a small cable access studio with a little bit of glitz to a very well produced professional show.
That's no improvement.
I remember my first show, one of the handheld ops, he wanted to get a different angle, so he was climbing a ladder with a handheld to get a shot from up above. And we've gone from climbing ladders to get the high shot to having a jib in the studio.
When I got to ACMI, I noticed that their equipment wasn't as great as I had hoped, but still, it was good. And I needed more to do what I wanted to do. So I eventually started buying my own equipment and microphones and wireless mics, and I would bring things.
So I'm loading my car right now with about 65 cases, and that's because the show's done at a public access facility. They don't have a lot of money, so I started buying everything week to week what we needed, and now it equals 65 cases. At the studio, they got all the studio cameras, so I use their cameras and their soundboard, but I bring all the microphones, the cables, the lights. I use my power strips, and then of course some set things that are, you know, for my show only, and then all the stuff I need for the production, radios, you know, socks and shirts that I might not have, suit, you know, all that stuff.
How much did you guess it all cost?
Honestly, I stopped keeping track of money years ago because I was losing so much.
Once I started distributing the show and it was going into other countries, there became a cost. You know, to send something UPS to London was $73 a pop, and then of course I had to create DVDs, ship them out. So, you know, there was this cost there, and my wife and I were paying for it. So it got to a point where it was so much money that, you know, I decided we needed a break, and I needed to figure out if it was going to continue to grow.
I can't. Now, is this true? You're going? What's this all about?
But I didn't say we were going. I said, I told everyone season 4 is ending. We're taking a break. That's
A break? What is that? That's what a girl says when she says, "We're just going to be a break." Are you just going to be friends with the public now?
A lot of friends wanted to come back, so they raised money and gave it to me without me knowing. And at that point, I decided, okay, these people want to continue. Let's continue now, and I'll try to figure out the business end as we move along.
Hey guys, I got your rundown.
Oh, thank you, Oprah. Awesome. Fantastic.
We come here either because we believe in him and we're getting something out of this show as well. Steve is following his dream, and everyone gets to live his dream through him.
He gives artists the chance to share their gift with the world. You know, even if they're the little guy, it's something special. It really is. You know, you don't have to be the big band in the area. You don't have to be the big record selling band or the big CD selling comedian. You can be just a little guy off the street, and Steve opens up his show to you.
My name is Steve Katsos. I'm not a famous actor, nor am I a hilarious comedian. I'm just a Greek boy with a dream. I want to give creative people a chance to get their art out to the world.
The other thing that we always tell people is follow your dreams. So if you have a passion to do something, make it happen. You know, it's up to you to do what you want to do. And for me, I hosted a show when I was a kid. Now I'm an adult. I'm still doing it. I'm following my dreams. And now great things are happening. The show's airing all over the world.
Now, this show's about dreams, and people always say to me, if the show makes it, then your dream will come true. But I always say, my dream already has come true. This show airs in 12 countries and in 15 million homes every week and in prime time. How about this?
I think Steve Katsos has set the bar and has modeled what a successful producer can do at any level, not just at the volunteer level. What he has inspired in the world of community television is that, yes, you can, and don't let anybody tell you you can't.
It will be fruitful someday. It really will. It will turn out to be something good, something special. It already is something special, but it will turn out to be something more someday. I have a good feeling. I have a feeling in my gut that this is going to turn into something big.
Yeah, I think if you guys know how to solve it, that's great.
At this point now, we have a verbal agreement for 10 weeks, and we're excited this fall it'll air on a PBS station if everything works out great. And so that's kind of like the hope now, is since we've got the one station agreeing to try us out, we think next year we can get another and then build it up. And we'll continue sending it to places overseas so it just continues to resonate.